What planning processes bring is they bring a they bring a multiple views into a room, and you have to hear all those views, and you have to understand them. You don't have to agree with them, but you have to understand them. And the years and years of working together through the land use and marine use planning processes, we've just really started to understand what the needs of various stakeholders are, and we're able to communicate around those needs. And just you spend enough time with someone, you just sort of all start drinking each other's Kool-Aid, because you're the only people in the room, and so you just feed off each other's energies. And it's really just time and relationship building and understanding that nothing's an Indian issue, nothing's an industry issue, nothing's an Anglo issue. They're all human nature issues at the end of the day, and it's about the fears that human nature has about the unknown that you have to get through. And so thanks to some good facilitation and just society's evolvement, we've been able to build some really solid relationships that give us the ability to have some very tough discussions about jurisdiction, about resource development, about resource protection, if you will. That's really the key to solid relationship building, is you have to be able to have those disagreements and walk out of the room in frustration. But the key to building a solid relationship is understanding that that door is open for that dialogue to continue. And sometimes, you have to back up a little bit and go out and extend an olive branch, which we've done. And sometimes we've had to have that olive branch extended to us. But like I said, it's all about that relationship building and managing those expectations as you go forward, because we are talking about people's livelihoods. We are talking about cultural connection to land and resources and the livelihood of First Nations people on the coast. And it's very emotional stuff when you're talking about that, and you need to be able to show that emotion to show how important it is. But you have to have the big picture in mind, and that's where it's important to be able to show leadership, to remind people that this is what we're trying to achieve, so we can input and incorporate everybody's livelihoods, cultural connections, and those issues into the final product as it's being implemented. But anything worth doing, you sort of have to do it methodically. You have to have your next 3 steps planned out. While the plan gives us a 25-year vision, we need to sort of do it year at a time. We have to make sure that we have the funding in place to keep implementing the plans in the principles that it was negotiated under, including stakeholder input, including local government input, and eventually holding that place for the federal government and keeping them accountable to the rules and rules of engagement that we've all agreed upon as we've started off on this planning process. So it's important for us to continue to work together and keep those relationships strong as we implement these plans. And even though there's going to be some hard discussions about funding, about priorities of implementation, we still need to get everybody focusing on the goal at hand, and that's the sustainable oceans in our territories.